Welcome, everybody. My name is Beth Ritter-Guth, and I am your instructor for English 250 American Romantics over Wintermester. So welcome. We have a lot to do in a very short amount of time, but I promise you it is going to be fun. It'll be different than any other English course that you've ever taken, and I hope that when you leave here at the end of January or beginning of January, that you will have an appreciation for this literature that I love and I hope to introduce you to. So, if you thought that the Romantic period was all about Fabio and romance novels, that is not what this course is about. This course is about the American Romantic period, which came before the Civil War. So it's the literary period that comes right before the Civil War, and then it is followed by the American Realism period, which begins with the Civil War. So we're going to be talking about nature writers, the transcendentalists. We're going to be talking about Louisa May Alcott. We have a lot of really fun stuff on the docket. The purpose of this video is to give you a little tour of about how the course is going to work and what you need to know to be successful. So all of your, you've hopefully been in Blackboard before, so you know that you can start here and you'll get the syllabus and you'll get all the, fancy stuff. You'll get my bio, you'll get an overview of the course, you're going to download the Blackboard app or whatever you want to do. And you'll do this first before going into weekly units. But this is the weekly units tab is where you will always go to do your stuff. So there's another little start here. Definitely click on that because there's lots of information. There's a picture of me in case you miss me. You want to see me, you can come here and look at that. And just all the things that you need, how I grade, my policies about late work. There really isn't an opportunity to turn in work late because you don't have much time in the class to begin with. So in weekly units, you can kind of look through and see everybody that we're going to cover. So first we're going to talk about what the American Romantic period is, why I love it, why I hope you'll love it, and then we're going to talk about different authors. So we're going to talk about Emerson and Thoreau and Hawthorne and women writers and Herman Melville. You might have heard of him and Moby Dick. And then a fan favorite is Edgar Allan Poe. And then we finish up with Walt Whitman before we talk about the rise of realism. So within each module, I'm just going to pick on a random one. Let's pick on Emerson. Every module is formatted the exact same way. So you have your student learning outcomes, the reading assignments are here. This is an open educational resource class, so you hopefully were pleasantly surprised when you got to the bookstore and they said there are no books required for BRG's class. That is because everything you need is hyperlinked here. Now, sometimes hyperlinks die, and I don't know that they've died. So if you come across a link that doesn't work, please shoot me an email. If you're the first person to tell me, you get 5 Easter egg points for letting me know. So be on a lookout. There's always a video lecture and a quiz. That happens in a program called Edpuzzle. You're going to watch a video. You're going to answer questions as you watch the videos. I've redone the videos for this course. So most of the questions are opinion-based answers. So we'll talk about a piece of literature. You'll give your opinion. So you want more than one sentence, but you don't need to write an essay for each of those responses. I just need to know that you've watched the video and that you're thinking about the literature and you're hopefully retaining some of it, right? And then we have different projects. So you can see when we talk about Emerson, you're going to be reading Self-Reliance. That's what the video quiz is about. You'll be doing a project with Emerson quotes. And then we have this very fancy thing called Flipgrid. And Flipgrid is a visual discussion board. Since you already do a lot of writing in this class, and I really want to build a community between us, Flipgrid is a visual discussion board as opposed to a written one. So I post a prompt, you're going to post a response, you're going to respond to 2 of your peers, and that's the way that we build community. Every module ends with a little bit of an assessment, and so it's some sort of quiz or some sort of little task that I want you to do to sort of capture what you've learned in that module. Now remember, these are assessments, so you don't want just one-word answers. You want to actually put some thought into it because they do count as the test for that module. So every module is set up the same way, and you'll always be able to figure out what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. And if you get stuck, you can always email me. I prefer that you email me. I check my email a few times a day. If the email goes down, I do have my cell phone number on the syllabus. You are free to text me. Please don't call me because I don't pick up phone calls from numbers I don't know. So I won't actually pick up your call. So I will text you back. Just say that you're a DeSales student and tell me what you need. And then if it's something that I need to call you back for, I'll call you back for, or I'll text back an answer to you. But email is the best way. The syllabus will also tell you that I offer Easter egg points. So for my gamers out there, that's a gaming term that we use. So I email you a few times a week, and I will have in there little extra credit things that you can do to add on to grades that are lower. So Easter egg points do not count for missing assignments, but they do help push grades over, and they've been very successful in the 25+ years I've been teaching this course. They've been helpful for students to kind of push, C's to B's and B's to A's. So definitely do them. And they're usually little fun things like send me your favorite song, or, who should play Nathaniel Hawthorne and Blithedale Romance, something like that. So the purpose of literature, in case nobody has told you, the purpose is to help us understand the human condition. And what's great about the American Romantic period is it's the first time in our cultural history, in American culture, that we have our own authors, we have our own literature, that we're not adopting the style of Great Britain, right? That we're not taking England style, which is what we had done previously. And the Puritans didn't really have literature. They had sermons and things like that. So for the first time in our cultural history, we have our own literature, and we can see, the rise of the nature writers, Emerson and Thoreau. We see the rise of the Gothic writers, which gave birth to modern horror, and we see that with Edgar Allan Poe. So we have a lot of really exciting stuff to do. But I'm not going to lie to you, the literature is a little bit complicated because there wasn't YouTube, and there wasn't television, and there weren't movie theaters. So there's a lot of writing and a lot of stuff to read because nobody was going anywhere. A little bit like COVID, right? So take your time, but definitely make a plan every day to read, because this course is condensed, but you still have to cover the same amount of material that we would cover in a 14-week semester. So that means that you're going to have to read a lot. And so make a plan, set time aside every day to do your reading and to do your assignments and the activities. There are papers, of course, because this is an English course and we write essays in English, but there are a lot of projects too that are a little bit more fun for those of you who don't like to write papers. And then the sort of capstone assignment will be tied to your major, whatever your major is. I think this semester I have a lot of theater majors, so, but I know I always have a lot of nursing students, a lot of physical therapy students and physician assistant students. So whatever your major is, we'll find some project that will tie this literature to what you're studying in your field. So I look forward to working with all of you. Welcome to the Wintermester. Wintermester, doesn't even roll off the tongue quite right. You can call me BRG, you can call me Professor Ritter-Guth, or if you're slightly daring, you can call me Jedi Mistress, which is what all the other students call me. So I look forward to working with each of you, and welcome to American Romantics. Be well.